Start recording.
And then you can do that.
Go live stream now? Can you bring me my drink? Or a drink? I don't want any food. Okay, I'm going. Okay. So far, so low. So far, so low. So far, so low. Okay, recording. Okay. Okay, welcome, whoever happens to stumble across this today. I had a request for a live engagement, and today, starting now. But there was some confusion, so I'm not sure if my guest will be joining me, but I thought, whatever, I'm going to show up, and whatever happens, happens. So before I dive into the question that came with this request to have an encounter, I wanted to quickly touch a little bit about contacting me and booking me and how to do all that if you want to connect and have a live experience, either in real life person or live on YouTube. So in my description box, you'll see the details to get in touch with me to my website. And from there, I use Matrix. So there's an app for that called Element. And I like Matrix for a lot of different reasons, because I basically use Matrix as my journal. And so that's why I like it. And if you go to matrix.org, then you'll see why. Because it's pretty plain. It's like cool that you can use a communication app as a journal. It's editable and all these cool things. You can do video on it and voice recording and yada, yada, yada. And publish. You can actually publish right from there. So anyway, because you can write and mark down. And it does a lot of other things I don't know because I'm very low tech. So the other link there that you'll see is to cal.com to book an encounter. And I use Jitsi Meet. So before you make your booking, it'd probably be easier if you just already have Jitsi on your phone or on your desktop if that's what you're using. So Jitsi is the platform I use. I try to keep everything that I use open source, because I don't believe in intellectual property for obvious reasons. I mean, they're obvious to me, and I know a lot of people have opinions about these things, but you can own something, but you can't own an idea. So, but you can share them. And that's what ideas are for. Ideas are for sharing. You usually have an idea because someone, either yourself or someone else, has a problem that they're trying to find a solution for. And so that's why we have this amazing capacity to generate ideas. So beautiful. So yeah, that's how you get in touch with me, and that's how you can book an encounter like this. And I know it's intimidating. Even some of my friends that have already come on, like moments before when Tamara, it's funny that I said that name. That Annabelle was coming on, she got nervous and she's like, "Can I cancel? Can I rebook? Oh my gosh!" So I know the feeling, and I know stuff can come up unexpectedly, and then you just can't make it. So I'm very chill at the moment with no pressure, no unnecessary pressure. I'm going to show up. If the other person doesn't show up, I don't want them to feel like, just be honest with what went on and everything's okay. And just share what you can. That's truth. Basically, you don't have to tell me everything. So the question, since it's already 8 minutes past, I'll just share the question, which was about, that I also got asked for this engagement, this exchange. And the question was how to heal the body, how to heal one's own body. And the never-ending story. I think this is like a continuous journey because toxicity is always happening. Like there's always something happening to the body. So it's like a teeter-totter. You're either you're either accumulating more damage or you're getting rid of more damage. Like you want to make sure the teeter-totter of rebuild and repair is in your favor. So anyway, the number one thing for myself in my own healing journey, especially in the last year here, a lot has sort of happened. And one of the biggest changes in my life, and these sort of happen a few times as we wander and journey and experience this place. So astrology has actually played a really big part in this last awareness of the body's capacity to rebuild and repair and heal. And astrology was big because it really allowed me to see myself much clearer and understand myself a lot better. A lot of things started to make sense to me when I started to learn about myself in relation to the stars. And it's been really profound. Like so much of your life just starts to make sense. It's remarkable, really. So it's really, all of this healing is really to know yourself on a deeper level, so that you know what needs to be healed. Because until you see that something needs to be healed, then it will just continue to not be healed. And I'll share a personal example of this that's like so bizarre. For this is how far I've come of awareness of your own body. And I'm speaking as a mother also, so I've felt that presence of another spirit inside your body. And so this is a crazy story because this happened after I was pregnant. So you think you have great body awareness, but although something about having an infant to look after, like after childbirth, is like the awareness of yourself really, for me, it really like, it was like gone, and all of my awareness was now on this little cute little thing, this cute little baby in front of me. So that's sort of, there's a lot, when you go back through these moments, there's like this big unpacking that happens. And that's also this other part of healing is the recapitulation work, because that's actually what's happening. When you reflect back on these things that happened to you in your life, you are doing the recapitulation work. You're just not with so much intent. You're not aware of it, but it's happening on a subtle level. And we all do it. It's just tapping into it and understanding how you can use it as a tool to your advantage. So after my son was born, I ended up with Bell's palsy, where half your face goes paralyzed. And I didn't even see it in myself. I don't know how long it'd been since I looked in the mirror, and like it, my son was like this amazing baby. He slept really well, and I thought I was doing good, resting myself. And I got some advice from a woman when I was like, just before I went into the hospital to have my son. She's like, let me tell you, after you have the baby, don't do as little as possible for like 3 days. Like, don't move out of bed and just heal. And you'll have more energy. Like that'll give you such a better jump start to all of the rest of what's going to happen. And so I actually really took that lady's advice, and I did that. And it was a huge benefit to me. I could really feel that. But I totally missed this Bell's palsy thing. I like totally was like not, and my husband didn't even see it in me. It's crazy. And my neighbor pointed it out to me. She's like, you look tired, and like there's something's wrong. And I was like I went really quiet, and I was sort of embarrassed, in a way. And then I went home, and I like actually looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, Jesus, what's going on? So it's been a big, that is a long time ago. And this is, I was already doing Reiki, and it's just really amazing how that's how detached you can get from your body. So that is like the number one thing, is knowing yourself, like in order for, if you're not even seeing like in the physical, so that was a huge lesson for me, and a huge wake-up call. And these things happen to you, and that's what gets you down these rabbit holes. Okay, now we're doing reflexology and the face yoga that's really popular now. That's actually, all of this is like reflexology, and a lot of this stuff that is sort of marketed as like health gymnastics, like yoga. Everything, the face yoga and all these titles that everything gets, and the names that we put on things, and courses that you can take and workshops that you can do. It's really, like, sure, I've done some of these. I did my charter herbalist, and after I did that, I was just like, I knew it going in, and this is one of the reasons why I never did any post-secondary education, because everything that I ever learned in a classroom, I learned better on my own. In the end, that's how it kept on turning out. Even the lifeguard training that I went through, even after I became a scuba instructor, I was like, wow, I could have self-taught myself all of this, like, no problem. And it's just, you get good at being a good researcher, and that's what it is with your own body. You, like, research yourself. So when I realized I had Bell's palsy, then I got more deeply into my Reiki practice, and more deeply into my yoga practice and meditation, and started reading up about reflexology and facial reflexology. And I was surrounded by a lot of healers, sound therapists, and cranial sacral massage people, and really talented, real yogi women. And I was also at that time I was working on the water, so I was a lot in nature, luckily. And then the transition of all of this, when I was working on the water, like, my career was basically like the bush pilot of the sea. So taking people to different locations, and freight, and just all kinds of stuff on these high-speed 12-passenger, like, over 3,000 pounds of just cargo you could haul to just so many different places up and down the coast, like, from private resorts to logging camps to fish farms to resorts, eco resorts, spiritual resorts. And I would sort of I never worked really for a company, so this was my partner's business at the time, this water taxi business, so it was very family oriented. And I just picked all of the ones that were, like, I kind of cherry picked which trips I was going to do. And I always wanted to do, like, the spiritual healing places and all kinds of stuff like that. So I got to rub up against a lot of different people going in and out of these places. And I would either, like, have a ton of questions, or I was just like a fly on the wall absorbing the conversations that would happen. It was a really amazing time for me, and I learned so much about myself and the body, and it came by me easily because I was also so much in all of my career. It's really been in nature, like scuba diving, and very water oriented contacts. So a lot of movement. So things would just, as your awareness of your body grows, and then now the awareness of my environment. I think it's another big turning point for my healing. Actually, was uncovering a lot of things that were taught to me as truth that actually are not. And there's some kind of, for myself, there was some kind of resonance in I think all of us actually are experiencing this, Because when you've been told something about the place that you live that's not true, and your body knows that this feeling that you have about where it is not in harmony with what it is, because it's not what it is. You can't resonate. Well, you can. You are. Everybody is resonating, but just the vibration when that shift happens, it's more harmonic. This is what like morphic resonance is. It's these old vibrations that our bodies have felt in connection to the place that we live. So when these things happened, and then the more you learn about what the things that you know that you can verify, and the more that really falls into you, that you feel that vibration, and these are the really healing, deeply healing vibrations, and our sexuality is actually one of the biggest ones. And I say often to my girlfriends that our sexuality has been hijacked. And I felt that for a very long. I got into tantra 11 years ago. And that is how I was so mad after, like, not mad in a bad way, but after that experience, these really awesome, extended workshop that I did with a partner who actually had some sexual trauma that needed healing. And so it's not that I just went to a workshop. I went to a workshop with someone that asked me to go with them for support for their healing. So it was a very intentional experience.
You're speaking publicly. You're not hiding. Speak out.
So, so I witnessed this healing experience right before my eyes, and it really, that was one of the big changes in my health, was from this knowledge, this tantra knowledge. And it's interesting. This is kind of like the bellspalsy story. But this time it's coming into a knowledge, and knowing it and feeling it and experiencing it, and benefiting from it, thoroughly enjoying it. I started making journals, especially for tantra, because when you do this as a therapeutic thing, and at the time my partner was working shift work, and so we would really book these healing sessions, and then we would have in the journal that I created was I lost it. I lost the template for this in a computer. Anyway, whatever, I could make it again, I guess. So then there's there's a bunch of different things that you can do, that I had a list of the rituals that we all of the kind of rituals that we enjoyed doing and that I knew about were listed in there. So then you could kind of choose ahead of time what you wanted to do, because you can just wing these things. It's great to be spontaneous, but when you enter any of these things with intent, it's just different. And that doesn't mean you have to stick to your schedule. It's just putting that intention out there, and it's super powerful. That's why you can have really profound experience with your partner. So we would book these times in advance, and it was a really beautiful time in my life, and I'm so grateful for it. And, the days leading up to him returning, I would send little Rumi quotes and as like a prelude to our upcoming date. It was really great, and everything in its time, right? Everything has a time. There's so anyway, what I'm getting at here, actually, to go back to my original thought of like why I was relating this to the Bell's palsy, is because I had like a really good routine with this, and then I didn't do it. I'm no longer with that gentleman, and I have a new relationship now, obviously, and we never that didn't carry over. However, it was always present in me, and it did intrigue Lee, and he has an interest in it as well, but we never went to that extent until, well, then it's changed. So there's like been a tantra resurgence happen, and it's just interesting that it's like the Bell's palsy. It's like you didn't see that this was missing, or that this needed still addressing, because so much of our energy is drained out of us and robbed from us. It is our sexual energy that is what is getting absorbed, that we give away. It's sucked out of us in so many different ways. Like, all you have to do is turn TikTok on, and all of the media, the magazines, the music videos, so much that's all directed towards this desire, this sexual desire, especially both sexes. This is a male-driven existence that we're in right now. This is one of the big things that needs. This is what will shift things back to the feminine, is through sexuality, and women really getting in charge of their sexuality and healing their sexuality. And I don't know how you do it other than this thing they call tantra, which is also the healing your sexual energy. Inevitably, there's reflection there. So the recapitulation is going to come in. You're going to have to go through the relationships you've had with men and clean that up on an energetic basis. When all of these things, when you work on the subtle body, the whole food part takes care of itself. Because when you're more connected spiritually to yourself, then you just care more of what is going into the body. It just happens. So the diet thing really for healing is sort of, all of it is really simple in the end. And it's not so much that we complicate it, but the place that we live in doesn't make it easy. The inevitable hurdle, it's actually not. It's all just really beautiful, in fact. And coming into the knowing of it all is another beautiful experience. The knowing of it all being we are all one. Okay, what time is it? I'm trying to actually... Oh, wow, 12:30 only. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, in fact. And Whoever would like to join me, check out the description box below. And yeah, gonna call that a wrap for the day. Ciao.